Hello, shiny happy people. Welcome to Kimbaskrafts. My name is Kim, and if you're new here, hello, welcome. If you're returning, welcome back, guys. Love you. So we are here for another mystery square. I just saw okay. My phone looks crooked on the stand, but it doesn't look crooked in the screen, I hope. So yeah, this is the mystery canvas I've been working on. This is from the one with the diamond art. If you're new to my channel, each video I reveal one of these squares, and this is what we've done so far. And as you can see, we have some orcas. We have a little baby here. So this is the one that's done the most. I believe this is, looks like it's probably a dorsal fin, and then here's another tail, and then here is the tail of this one, I think. So yeah, we're going to do another square today. I've been working on this project for quite some time. I took a huge long break and I just started it up again this month, and I thought, let's do another one for you guys this week. So first thing we do is we always, I have this. You know what I should do is I should find a way to I should have it. That would be great. That would be great if I Velcroed it to the top, because it is a pain in the tushy. All right, guys, we're going to spin this wheel, and this wheel is going to tell us, there it is, which animal to diamond paint next. Ooh, we got music today. The polar bear. All right, where's the polar bear? Okay, cool. Let's see what's hiding behind that one. I'll show you guys where that is in a second. Let me see here. Let me just update my wheel and delete the polar bear. And now we have 8 more squares to go after this. And this is the polar bear square here. And he has to tell us, stay soft. The world may be cold, but we don't have to be. Aw, that is so true. Although polar bears, I just said this, right? Polar bears are the ones that will eat you no matter what. Right? They're right, black, fight back, brown, lay down, white, good night. They are going to eat you. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and set up the polar bear. Be right back. All right, guys, I think we are kind of set up here. And yeah, let's see here. I am going to pick a color. What do I want to do? Let me see here. I think I'll do, okay. I think I will do, let's do number 3. Let's do number 3. All right, I hope everybody's having a great day today. It is Friday. It is Friday morning. And I don't know why there's all these different wrong colors in here, but you don't belong. You don't belong. You don't belong. And you don't belong. Yeah, it's Friday morning. What number am I doing again? 3. Okay. We're good. And I went back to work on Tuesday. I worked Tuesday, Wednesday. I worked Tuesday, Wednesday, and I worked until Thursday morning. So I had off yesterday. And so, of course, my plan was yesterday to diamond paint, record a video or 2, and I didn't really do either. I diamond painted for like an hour and a half. For me, that's not a significant session. You know, I was working on the Dreamers designs, and you're not banging out a lot with that time on that canvas. That canvas is extremely confetti heavy, and yeah, you need more time than that to even do one square. So I just was so tired, and so I don't know. I think it's just because I am adjusting. You know, I've been off for 12 days or whatever, and now I'm going back to working overnight, and it was 2 in a row. I don't know, or maybe it's just because I'm older and these transitions are harder. But to add into the mix of it all, of course, I went and got they were offering the flu vaccine, and it's mandatory. So I've been getting the flu vaccine every year since I started nursing school, basically, back in 2005. And it's mandatory with the hospital. I definitely thought, oh, now I see more 3s. I was like, I definitely thought I saw more 3s. And so, yeah, if I don't get it when they're offering it, then I have to get it, like I have to go to CVS, and it's free with our insurance, but the problem is like, you know, I have to schedule the appointment and then drive there, and I'm so bad with that. And usually that's how I do it. I just simply for the fact that I don't pay attention to the flu shot clinics, and I don't get it in time. So then I have to go outside and spend part of my day off, you know, hunting down a place to get the flu shot. It's just purely out of laziness. So I was like, I was there, they were offering it, and I'm like, yeah. So I got it early in my shift. And I don't generally have I don't feel like I have a reaction to the flu shot. I don't ever remember having a reaction to the flu shot. But let me tell you, I was so tired yesterday. And like I said, it could have been all the other things. I just could not stop sleeping. Like, I could not stop sleeping. And then I went to bed at, before Bob left, 9:30. And I slept and slept. And then he came to bed because he worked last night. And he's coming to bed, and I was like, what time is it? And he said 8:30. I was like, 8:30? I could not believe it, guys. I couldn't believe it. And he's like, yeah, you've been sleeping for almost 12 hours. And it did not feel like it. I actually slept longer. I continued to sleep, and I got up at like 9:15. And I honestly could have just kept sleeping. That's how I felt. I was like, I forced myself out of bed. And I was like, I could just keep sleeping all day. But I got up, and now I feel like my voice sounds like sleep. It's now like 11:30 or something. So I got up and I finished the square that I had started on the Dreamers designs and moved it off. You know, and now here I am. So this is my plan. My plan is to diamond paint a little bit and talk to you guys, and then go to the gym because I have to work again tonight. That's the problem with, that's why I really feel like I need like a few nights in a row. But I did this on purpose. Because I wanted, normally I would have worked Monday, Tuesday, and then had off, you know, Wednesday, Thursday, and worked Friday. But I just wanted to extend my vacation just that one more day. And then And then I'm going to go to the gym, come back, and then I'll finish this. Because I really feel like once I work out and stuff, I'll have a little more energy and I won't feel like I need to take a nap. Because I slept so much. I slept almost all day yesterday. I only got up to diamond paint that 1 hour or whatever. And then I like ate a little bit. And then I took a nap on the couch. And then I, honestly, I ordered pizza because I was like, I want some greasy pizza. So I ordered pizza, I ate pizza, and went back to bed. Yeah, productive day off, I shall say. So I feel like once I like get my exercise in and I like really wake up, I feel like I should be okay. Like I really should be okay. There's a, okay, let's see, one more. So I'll be able to come back from the gym, finish this video. I'd like to have this video up by tonight. So if you're watching this video on Friday night, it's because I was successful. And I did not have to nap before my shift. Because I would really like to be able to post this, give you guys another video this week. I wanted to make videos on my last few days off, but I don't know. Part of me, honestly, part of me wasn't feeling it. Like and then part of me had a lot to do because I left all of my work. I'm like the worst procrastinator. And I left a lot of things that had to get done. I left to my last day, like different house chores and stuff. So I was like running around trying to get all that done. I don't know why, and tell me if this is how you guys feel, but when I go back to work after a vacation, I feel like I'm never going to have time to do anything ever again once my schedule starts. So let me try to get it done now. It's weird. It's like, no, it's just your normal schedule. I don't know. But that's what goes through my mind. And then I'm just trying to like do all the things. Like I'm never going to be able to clean my toilet again. Really? Kim, relax. You are really blowing things out of proportion. Like my life is going to be over. I got to go back to work. My life is going to be over. Let me do all the things now. I don't know. So, yeah, I finished the Dreamers designs. I haven't eaten breakfast yet because I made my oatmeal and it's cooling off. I don't know about you guys, but I cannot eat or drink really hot things. Like, it burns the crap out of my tongue. And I'll never understand, like, how people can, I guess, like, can you train your tongue to take, like, really hot food? I don't know. Because Bob likes his stuff piping hot. Like piping hot. And I'm just like, I cannot eat it like that. I really prefer room temperature. Are you, let me know if you prefer your food piping hot or room temperature. So my oatmeal is cooling off because I can't go near it for at least a half hour. I watch this guy. He does the funniest videos. You might know who he is. I think his name is Corey. I don't know his last name, but his name is Corey, and he does recipes, and he always rhymes and like makes jokes as he does it. And he watches a video and then he makes the recipe. He watches the video and he'll like commentate while he's watching the video, like, what in the Voldemort is going on here? Like, and then he'll make the recipe and he'll eat it in front of you, and it's always like so piping hot, and like he blows on it, he's like before he puts it in his mouth, and I'm just like cringing because the thought of that food hitting my tongue, I'm just like 3rd-degree burns for days, where you can't taste anything on that area of your tongue. I don't know if you can train I can't drink my coffee super hot. Like, I have to put in cold water or ice cubes when I'm if I go out to breakfast or something, I always ask for ice water, and then I'll spoon in ice cubes because I don't drink it. And I guess if you put cream in it, you are cooling it off, but I don't put creamer in mine. I just drink it black. And so I have to add like cold water or ice cubes to cool it off. If I go to Wawa, I'll go over to their, like if I get a cup of Wawa at a convenience store, I go over to their, what are those machines called that you get soda out of? What are they called? Your soft drink machine. And I'll either get ice or cold water and put it in my coffee. So if you haven't noticed, I did not plan out a whip and chat. I'm just talking. I don't know. I don't know. I did not plan out a whip and chat. I'm just filling you guys in. I saw my mom the other day, and she said that my stepdad is doing awesome with his chemo. She's like, either he likes chemo or chemo likes him. I don't know. So, you know, other than that, like, he never had an issue with chemo. His hair, he loves his hair, man. And his hair is full as ever. He was worried about that. He came over the other day, and he looked good. He looked real good. He had his beard trimmed. He went to the barber. He had his hair cut. He had his cologne on. Yeah, he was like, I feel good. And he did a little prayer service with Bob. Yeah, he looks really good. And then I'm just going to do updates. My daughter got a 2nd job. She's so funny. So she wants to move out. And she's like, don't be mad, but can I move out? And I was like, listen, you do what you want, okay? I'm trying to tell you, I'm not going over this again. Like, kids don't understand how hard it is to live on their own. I'm like, you got to figure out yourself, I guess. I don't know what to tell you. So whatever you want to do. And she's like, oh, you're not going to miss me? I'm like, of course I'm going to miss you, but I'm not having this conversation again. Like, if you think you can afford to live on your own, then go for it. But don't come to me for any money. I said, don't come to me for any money, okay? If you can't pay the electric bill, you're doing your makeup in the dark. That's all I can say, because I'm not paying your bills. You have a place here you can stay. And, yeah, don't come to me. Get a 3rd job, whatever you got to do. So she's working 2 jobs, and she gets a huge discount at her job. She works at a clothing store now, and she's getting this huge discount, an employee discount. And Bob's like, yep, we know Kaylee's working a 2nd job, because every day we go outside, there's a package for her. Now, I will say she does need to, like, increase her work attire. You know, when you get a new job, you gotta, like, dress the part. So she needs more business casual, more clothes that is appropriate and in this store. But yeah, I'm like, you're not going to be able to do all this when you're living on your own, just FYI. So, but it's funny. He's like, yep, you can tell Kaylee's working. He's like, it's so funny because he's like, yep, you can tell she's working. Here's another package. I'm like, well. So I said, listen, if you really think you're going to be able to afford to live on your own, because she's talking about in January, I said, from now till January, you should give me, not to, like, I wouldn't keep it. I would just put it all in a savings, and then she would have, like, a cushion when she left. The same amount of money you think it would cost to live on your own, for rent, for utilities. And she said, well, I can't afford to do that right now. That's why I want to wait till January so I can save my money. I'm like, okay. Well, then you should wait until after January, and then you should trial it by what I'm saying. And she said, well, my friend's lease is up in January. She needs a roommate by then. And I'm like, well, I don't think it's a good idea, but listen, I made a ton of mistakes when I was younger, and I try to keep you from making those mistakes, but people got to make their own mistakes to figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, I can tell you it's a bad idea. Like I've been telling you multiple times, it's a bad idea until you get an established income. Blah, 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 blah. I can say all this till I'm blue in the face, and you got to, you know, eventually you got to go out there and realize how hard it is. You know, you come here, you got dish soap, you got laundry detergent, you got all the things. So you got toilet paper, you got foil to make your chicken, you got all these things, right? Free hot water, and, you know, things you never have to worry about when you move out on your own. Now all of a sudden, you got to worry about these things. So, and maybe she just needs to go out there and give it a try. And I moved out of my parents' house, I think 3 times from the time I turned 18. Always ended up back, but until I met my ex-husband. But I was always trying to get out of there. But it was different. Like, she doesn't do anything here. And, but my parents, I lived in the back of their store, and all they wanted was me to work. Yeah, guys, I was a Korean slave, seriously, since I was in 4th grade. My parents owned a store, and every weekend, any day I had off from school, they would hang up my school calendar. It was like the only thing they cared about that came from my school was what days I was off. From the time I was in 4th grade on, they'd hang it up, and any day I had off, I knew I was working. I didn't get to play with my friends. Yeah, it was, and that continued all the way until I was a young, you know, a young adult. And I, like, had my own job. I had to argue for it because they weren't paying me. And so finally I was like, I need to get my own job. So I went and got my own job at the mall. And they were not happy about it. They were ticked off that they were losing their free worker. And, yeah, and then so any day that I was off, they wanted me to work. So I had to get the heck out of there. You know what I'm saying? Like, I couldn't have a life. Like, I had to I had to break ties. But that's not the case here. I'm like, dude, you don't have to do anything. Like, you don't have any chores. And she's still trying to, you know, I guess it's normal at your age. But I would have loved living here at her age. Yeah, so I'll talk about all the places I moved out to later. But actually, I think I moved out like 4 times. Maybe. No. I moved out 3 times. Yeah. And, you know, but when you move out like that, you can't concentrate on going to school for something because you're just working to pay the bills. We all know. But, yeah, when I was in high school, guys, oh my God, I would get the mail and I would throw away the calendar so that they wouldn't know what days I was off. And I had to leave for school before they got up and left for the store. So I would set my alarm and I would take my book bag, and I went to a Catholic high school. I would take my book bag, I would take my school uniform and everything, and I would put it at the bottom of my closet, and then I would take a pillow and some blankets, and I would curl up on the bottom of my closet and sleep until they left for the store. And one day I used to take my brother's one jacket. I would take his one jacket all the time. It was this blue jacket with like white stripes on it, and I loved it. And he was looking for it, and he asked my mom if she seen it, and he started complaining, yeah, you know, Kim always takes it. And they come to my closet, dude. Oh my God. And they open it up, and I'm down there, and I'm just trying to, and they're like moving the clothes, trying to find it, and they didn't see it, and then they closed the closet. Oh my God, I was sweating. And yeah, and then my girlfriend, that year she got a car because we were juniors in high school. Or yes, and she was picking us all up. I'll never forget it. And she came and she picked me up. I was like, I almost got caught. And she came, she picked me up and like 3 other girlfriends. And it was like the 5 of us all in her. It was a Beretta. You remember those cars? I don't know the make, but maybe a Chevy Beretta. It was a red Beretta. And it was brand new. And we thought we were so cool. We were like driving down the highway singing, I remember it was We Are the Champions. We are the champions. Oh my God. We had so much fun that day. I almost got caught and had to go to work. But yeah, that was, you know, when I got older, I could do that. But when I was younger, every day. At one point, we lived above the store, and every day I came home from school, I had to work. That was when I was in 5th grade. 5th grade, every day I had to work. So, yeah. I'm like, why don't you want to, like, if my mom just let me come and go as I wanted and keep all my money and paid for this and paid for that, I wouldn't be looking to move out. But like I said, we all have to learn I said to her, I think that, you know, our family, we all tend to have to learn the hard way. I don't know what it is about us, but, you know, like, in my case, not the moving out, because I did that for my sanity, you know, because even if I said, no, I'm not working, like it's my day off, I felt guilty. Like I felt guilty, and I would always end up working because I felt guilty that, you know, they were working, as parents should. But I still felt guilty that, so then I would end up working. So, you know, I just had to be away from that environment. And it's so funny because I met a nurse, and she's so put together. I was training her. She was just getting a second job, doing home care, because she was used to working. She had a crazy story. She was like a bigwig in this hospital system, and she was working like 80 hours a week, and she finally walked away. She was like, this is getting to be too much. I just want to be a regular bedside nurse, right? So she decided she just wanted to be a regular bedside nurse. And she loved it. She loved being on the floor and taking care of patients again. And, but it, you know, it was a huge pay cut, but, I guess, I don't know. I never talked to her about her finances. Like, but she, because she went from working like, I don't know, 60 to 80 hours a week or whatever, she said, she's like, I'm bored. Like, so now I'm working 36 hours a week, you know, as a full-time. So she wanted to get a second job just to do a couple. She's like, you know, why not? So she wanted to get a second job just to take some of the hours out of the day for her. So she decided to try home care, where she was like per diem. So she would call in and say, hey, I can do 3 cases today or whatever. And then they would just send her 3 cases. And, you know, she didn't need to give them a schedule. She could just call them and she could just tell them. I mean, it was kind of a good gig, you know. And so that's what she decided to do with her extra time. And I was training her, and she was one of those people, like, that just is so well put together, right? Like, she looked professional, sounded professional, and, you know, one of the people, I mean, if you're like this, then you can't relate, but if you're not like this, then maybe you can. Like, I would say to myself, like, well, I want to be like you when I grow up. Like, I'll never be like her. Like, always had her hair done perfectly, like her makeup and her hair. You could tell she gets up really early, and she, like, just was always put together. Always, I'm not that person. I go to work, and my hair, you know, I'm lucky I threw a comb through it. Everything I do, even my videos, you guys can see, like, they're sporadically. I don't have a schedule. Like, I am so by the seat of my pants. Like, I have a hard time, like, committing to things, because then I'm like, well, what if I don't feel like doing that day? Like literally last night, someone was like asking me if I would do this cancer walk with them. And I was like, well, what day is it? And they tell me, and I'm like, okay, well, what time is it? Because I'm off. I can do that day. And they were like, 8 to 12. And I was like, in the morning? And they're like, yeah, laugh out loud. And I was like, I have to be there at 8 in the morning? And they were like, yeah, it's for a good cause. And I was like, okay, I will do it because you got me in a mood. But I am going to be cursing you and me that morning when I'm trying to wake up. Because I'm a night shifter. And like, I don't wake up at 8 o'clock in the morning. Well, I don't wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning to get somewhere for 8 o'clock in the morning. Like, that's not what I do. So I was like, and she's like, okay, well, can you, she's like, you have so-and-so's number to tell them that that you're doing this with us? And I was like, no, you text her so that way, if I don't wake up in time, I can tell her you lied. Of course, I'm joking. But like, I have a hard time committing to things like that. Like, because I'm just like, well, I don't know how I'm going to feel that day. Like, it's weird. I don't know. So I did. I was like, I'm going to do it. We're going to do this. And she's like, we can go out and get lunch after. And I'm like, yeah, you know you taking me out to lunch if I'm getting up at 6 o'clock in the morning for something. You owe me some food. I want a hot cup of coffee. No, I'm just kidding. But I forget. Why am I on this tangent? I was talking about this super well put together lady that even like I brought her to Bob's business because we were in the area. We did a case, like when Bob had a martial arts school. We did a case right down the street from his school, so we stopped by to say hi. And when I saw him later that day, he was like, yeah, she's very, you know, the way she carries herself, she's so professional, you can tell. He said, you can tell that she was like a big wig. Like, it's just her clothes are ironed. I am so not that person. I am just, like when I'm around people like that, I feel like, Kim, you need to get your life together. You are a hot darn mess. Like you know, how do you get your shoes on in the morning? Like, that's what I want to ask myself. Like, you know, I am, and I always say, I'm going to be like that. No, I'm never going to be like that. I've accepted that, you know, but like, I'm like, those are the type of people I always say to myself, when I grow up, I'm going to be like that. And it never happens. So I'm a Toys R Us kid. What can I say? I don't want to grow up because I'm a Toys R Us kid. So anyway, I forget the point of this. Oh yeah, so she tells me she's Greek. Her nationality is Greek, right? And she tells me that her family owns this diner in our area. Now, if you're from Jersey, then you know we are famous for diners. We are the diner capital of the world. We love our diners. They've changed quite a bit since COVID. At least the ones around me, they used to all be open 24/7. But since COVID, now they close pretty darn early. Like, it's annoying. But yeah, they used to be all open. You could get like a full breakfast. You could get like a full breakfast 24/7 in Jersey up until COVID. And anyway, oh darn, I didn't realize I had two. Wait, what number am I doing? Why did I? Okay, this is 4. I'm doing 7. I don't know why I did that. So this gets turned up. Turn that frown upside down. I need more of this. Okay, I don't know why there's some of these in here. In fact, let me put it in the big one. See if I can get them to lay flat more. There we go. So anyway, she says, yeah, my family owns the such and such diner. Well, my dad loved diners. And I was like, oh my God, that's like my dad's favorite diner. I used to go there all the time as a kid. And it's been in her family since I was a kid. So, you know, her parents definitely owned it back then. And I was like, oh, wow. So you must have worked a lot as a kid too. I said, like, I was like, did you have to work every day you were off in that diner? Like I did. And she looked at me like I was crazy. She looked at me like I was crazy. And she says to me, I never worked one day of my life in that diner. And I was shocked. I just assumed that any parent who had a business made their kids, like, ignored the child labor laws and made their kids work for free. And I was like, seriously? I couldn't believe it. And she was like, not 1 hour of my life have I worked in that diner. And she said that her job was to do well in school. And I was like, oh my gosh, are you serious? And I thought, maybe I would be like her if I... Maybe that's why I never grew up, because I didn't have a childhood. Oh my gosh. Yeah, she said I would go there to eat, but I never had to work. I couldn't believe it. I would have been serving you guys coffee. I would have been a busser. I would have been all the things. They probably would have had me behind the bar making drinks. Now, that diner didn't sell drinks, but I'm just kidding. Not kidding. But yeah, I found that very interesting. And then you know what I realized? Because obviously I grew up around a lot of Korean families. You know, all of my mom's friends. And almost all of them owned a store, like some kind of store or business. But mostly they were stores. Some of them had dry cleaners and stuff. And not all of them made their kids work in the store. Some of them did, and they were very much like me, where they worked every minute of every day that they had off. And some of them never worked, you know, that they felt like their job was to be a student and they had to get good grades and things like that. And I can tell you that the kids that did not work in the store got their shit together much earlier than the kids that did have to work. So take that with what you will, but it is down the line, seriously down the line. Like, every kid that did not work went to college and, you know, taught. One of them taught English in Japan and is working for like a Fortune 500 company. Another one became a police captain and retired already and now is constantly traveling, owns properties. Another one became a corrections officer and is going to retire soon, also owns properties and does really well for himself. And then there was me who took, I mean, I feel like I do fairly well for myself, but it took me years to get here. Like, you know, I didn't go to nursing school until I was in my 30s, and I had a lot of financial trouble, you know, in my early adulthood. I went through a lot of crap. I had kids young. before I was established financially. I did a lot of things wrong. I mean, I guess maybe not wrong, but I did a lot of things the hard way. That's what I'm trying to say. Like, I wouldn't change anything because it made me who I am, and it is what it is, you know, and, you know, I love my children, and I'm happy. And I think that that's very important. Like, I'm happy, and, but it took me a long time to get here. And, you know, if I struggled, my kids struggled. Like, my struggles were my kids' struggles. So I wasn't able to give them all the things that I wish I could have given them. But, yeah, I was shocked when she told me that. So it made me realize that. Like, I thought back to all the kids who did not have to work. And I remember when one of my Korean friends, their family just bought their store. And my mom had her store for a while. And I went over to her house. And I was like, so how do you like your mom owning a store? And she was like, I love it. And I was like, yeah, I used to love it. And then she's like, oh, I love working there. And I said, really? I'm like, well, she's like, yeah, it's so much fun. And I'm like, talk to me in 3 months. I mean, and we're little. Like, I think I was like in 6th grade maybe. And I'm like, talk to me in 3 months. And she's like, oh no, it's so much fun. I love it. I love working on the cash register and everything. And I was like, I did too, but it's not fun. And so then I saw her like months later. They had a party at their house. They always had parties at their house. They had this huge house, and they would throw parties. And so I show up and I see her, and I'm like, so how's it going? And she's like, good. And I was like, do you still like working in your mom's store? And she's like, oh my God, I hate it. And I was like, I told you. And she's like, you're so right. In fact, I begged my mom to let me stay home today. I told her I would clean this whole house. And I told you it was huge, right? She's like, I told her I would clean the whole house to get ready for this party if she let me stay home. And she did. I was like, yep, I told you you'd do anything to get out of having to go in there. It's pretty sad, but it's the truth. And so yeah, who knows? Maybe I would be really organized and all those things if I, you know, didn't start working a full-time job in 4th grade. Who knows? But yeah, I just found that so interesting when I realized that. But I do feel like it gave me, like, I always worked. I always had a job as an adult. I never not had a job. I always, you know, I think it gave me a good work ethic, I guess. But this lady had even a better work ethic. I mean, you know. So, I don't know. She's one example, but I do have many examples in my mind. And so I'm kind of going with it. All right, guys, I'm like almost halfway done. So I'm going to finish this color and then we'll meet back here. You enjoy the music.
I don't share the way I feel because you're fragile.
halfway done, and it is definitely another dorsal fin here, right? I think dorsal fin here, and it's like diving, I'm pretty sure. That's what I see, but we are going to finish this up. It's a much lighter colored one, I think, because it's further away. But yeah, we're going to finish this up. I'll see you back when it's done.
Even when my teardrops start to dry, even when the sun begins to shine again, I'm taking all the advice there is and none of it has helped. Experience has made me realize that I won't build my life on empty words. Being so damn naive, it only hurts. I'm so tired of love songs, life never turns out the way they do. I've been trying for so long, looking for someone who wants me to. I've heard every cliche there is and none of them make sense. I'm so tired of love songs, I'm sick and tired of love songs. I'm so tired of you. Looking back on how I used to be, I always thought that love was made for me. Oh well, I was just as blue-eyed as the sky could ever be. Loving you has made me realize I'm so tired of love songs, life never turns out the way they do. I've been trying for so long, looking for someone who wants me to. I've heard every cliche there is and none of them make sense. I'm so tired of love songs, I'm sick and tired of love songs. I'm so tired of you. I'm so tired of you. I'm so tired of you. I'm so tired of love songs, sick and tired of love songs. Even when my teardrops start to dry, and even when the sun begins to shine again, I've taken all the advice there is and none of it has helped. I'm so tired of love songs, sick and tired of love songs. I'm so tired of you. Ooh, sick and tired of you. I'm so tired of love songs that never turns out the way they do. I've been trying for so long, looking for someone to help me through. I've heard every cliche there is and none of them make sense. I'm so tired of love songs, sick and tired of love songs. I'm so tired of you.
Okay, guys, we are done. Let's see what it made. And it's not a whole whale or dolphin, but it definitely is a partial of one. So I'll tell you what, the colors are very beautiful. All right, let's move it all out so you can see it in its entirety. And yeah, let's see what we made. 1 second. All right, there we are. So there's a big guy here, a little guy here, a guy here. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 so far. Yeah, so I don't know. Very cute, very cute. Lots of shine and shimmer. You can see those ABs and where they are, like around him and in here, and then in the middle of these pools of light. Very cool. Let's hope we get one at the top next time so we can start figuring out what's going on up there. All right, guys, that's all I have for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up on the way out. And if you want to see more from me, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and join the family and friends here at Kimbaskrafts. I would love to have you. You guys have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care. Keep diamond painting.